Well, it looks like the AI Ponzi scheme has just collapsed. Hey, everyone, Johnny here, Don't Speak News. We'll just get into it like we always do. But breaking news, it says here, 610 billion AI Ponzi scheme just collapsed. Last night at 4 p.m. Eastern, something unprecedented happened. Nvidia stock rallied 5% on earnings. Then it crashed into negative territory within 18 hours. Wall Street algorithms detected what humans couldn't. The numbers don't add up. Wow, that's huge. $610 billion. Just poof. So we already went through the last night at 4 p.m. sentence or paragraph. So here we go. Here's what they found. NVIDIA, well, they reported 33.4 billion in unpaid bills, up 89% in 1 year. Customers who bought chips haven't paid for them yet. The average wait time for payment stretched from 46 days to 53 days. That extra week represents 10.4 billion that may never arrive. Meanwhile, Nvidia stockpiled $19.8 billion in unsold chips, up 32% in 3 months. But management claims demand is insane and supply is constrained. Both cannot be true. Either customers aren't buying or they're buying without cash. So the cash flow tells the real story. Nvidia generated 14.5 billion in actual cash but reported 19.3 billion in profit. The gap is 4.8 billion. Healthy chip companies like TSMC and AMD convert over 95% of profits to cash. Nvidia converts 75%, and that's the stress level, they're saying. Now here's where it gets criminal. Nvidia gave 2 billion to XAI. XAI borrowed 12.5 billion to buy Nvidia chips. Microsoft gave OpenAI 13 billion. OpenAI committed to buy 50 billion to buy Microsoft Cloud. Microsoft ordered 100 billion in Nvidia chips for said cloud. Oracle gave OpenAI 300 billion in cloud credits. OpenAI ordered Nvidia chips for Oracle data centers. The same dollars circle through different companies and get counted as revenue multiple times. So you see what they're doing? Every one of these companies is claiming revenue, and there is no revenue. Nvidia books sales, but nobody actually pays. The bills age, the inventory piles up, and the cash never comes. AI company CEOs admitted it themselves last week. Airbnb CEO called it a vibe revenue. OpenAI burns 9.3 billion per year, but makes 3.7 billion. That's a $5.6 billion annual loss. And guys, they wouldn't be around if it wasn't for taxpayer funding. The 157 billion valuation requires a 3.1 trillion in future profits. That MIT research shows 95% of AI projects will never generate it. Peter Thiel sold 100 million in Nvidia on November 9th. SoftBank dumped 5.8 billion on November 11th. Michael Burry bought put options, betting Nvidia crashes to 140 by March of next year. Bitcoin, which tracks AI speculation, dropped from 126,000 just last month, October, to $89,567 today. That's a 29% crash. That's huge. AI startups, well, they hold 26.8 billion in Bitcoin as collateral for loans. When Nvidia falls another 40%, those loans default, forcing 23 billion in Bitcoin sales, crashing crypto to 52,000. It's just going to keep going that way. The timeline is now certain. February 2026, Nvidia reports fourth quarter and reveals how many bills aged past 60 days. March 2026, credit agencies downgrade. April 2026, the first restatement. The fraud took 18 months to build, unwinds in 90 days. The fair value for Nvidia should be $71 a share. The current price is $186. The math is simple. This is the fastest growing or moving financial fraud in history because algorithms detected it in real time. Human investors are 90 days behind. Wow, the crash is going to be so epic. Then the Palantir Mafia is preparing to dump massive amounts of shares while using their paid dogs on social media to urge retail investors to buy the stock. They're going to encourage them to buy the dip. Criminal, it says here, and it is criminal. because they know it's going to crash within a few months, probably. Certainly in the first part of next year, in the spring, is going to be very, very interesting indeed, as this Ponzi scheme is unwinding and collapsing now. And if you look at the markets today, Bitcoin's already back down more, 3% further down, 3.4%, as this dropped almost 3 grand off the price today, down to 83,553. So this article is a little out of date here. So, wow. And it's just, this article isn't very old. That's how fast everything is moving. So Bitcoin continues to drop. Gold and silver. Gold is up, silver's down a little bit, which doesn't make any sense because as far as physical silver goes, there's a huge shortage. So they constantly manipulate these markets with paper, or it would be off the scale. And then pre-markets for stocks, well, they're all in the green so far, but that doesn't mean anything after yesterday, when Nvidia lost all kinds of money because they rallied 5% and then it crashed into negative territory within 18 hours. What do you think is going to happen with this? We're definitely in unprecedented territory right now. And Japan's having all kinds of problems. They're having to put more stimulus money into their economy, and they're looking at a huge crash right now. The whole world is, because the world is absolutely swimming in debt. There's what, 35 trillion in the US alone, so it's just ridiculous anymore. I mean, the numbers don't even feel real because they're really not. They just make all this money up out of thin air anyway. It's based on nothing except faith in the systems. And once that's gone, it's all going to come crashing down and crashing hard. And it's all due to this AI Ponzi scheme that's collapsing right now. It might last a few more months. We'll see. But it's going to take Bitcoin with it and probably the other cryptos as well. So you've been warned. I'm not a financial expert, but you don't have to be to see the writing on the wall with articles like this. And that'll be it for this video. God bless. Take care. Johnny Storm. Don't Speak News.